The Filipino athletes' quest for golden glory in international competitions will continue this year, and this time in Myanmar for the Southeast Asian Games. Joining us this morning on Nation in Motion is Mr. Rich Garcia, the chairman of the Philippines. You know, every time we talk about the SEA Games, this is one level where we did well in 1995. We won the overall championship.
In 2005.
That's 2005.
Yes.
How are the preparations for Myanmar this year?
Well, we have been preparing for the Southeast Asian Games since late last year, and since January this month, we have been very serious about the exposure of our athletes. A lot of them are starting to go abroad for international exposure. We have activated our training center in Baguio for athletics, and I think our athletes will be ready for the Southeast Asian Games, and hopefully improve our medal haul in the last SEA Games.
Now, how many events are we entered in?
Well, we don't know yet because there was an emergency meeting in Myanmar just to discuss on the events that's going to be played in Myanmar, and apparently there are some new sports introduced by Myanmar wherein the Philippines are not even familiar with. So this is a serious concern of the Philippine Olympic Committee as well as the Philippine Sports Commission.
Right. You're talking of how many sports which are not known to Filipinos?
Well, there are about 4 sports that I know so far. These are buminam, kempo, and there is a wood ball, something.
Do you have any idea what the sports are?
No, I think this is from an extraterrestrial event. You know, I'm not sure what these events are, honestly speaking. And they compare this to the time when we hosted, that we also introduced some sports that they are not familiar with. And the only sport I know that we introduced was tennis. And as a matter of fact, we did not win, you know, in that particular sport.
Now, looking at Myanmar, if ever we go there, because I heard that, are there plans to boycott it?
No, I don't think that that's the right move. I think what we are planning to do, or after the meeting today anyway, is that maybe we can send some token participation in sports like the Olympic sports. You know, everybody is focused on the Olympics anyway. So why don't we just participate in the Olympic events, you know, and let go of the others?
How many events are you talking about? You're talking of track and field?
Yes, of course.
What about
track
swimming?
and field, swimming, you have taekwondo, you have, taekwondo is shooting. There are quite a few, basketball, football, you know. They even removed baseball and softball, you know. They removed tennis. And so, you know, I mean, what kind of a game are we going to have without these very popular sports?
Without this concern that you have at this given time, but looking at the preparations that you've made compared to what happened in 2 years ago, would you say that you have more resources and you have younger athletes who can rise to the occasion, knowing that one of the major problems we've had in the past is marami sa ating mga atleta tumatanda na?
Yeah. Well, this is our concern actually, Freddie. You know, we train our athletes based on the sports that we played the last time and try to improve on the performance of the athletes. And then all of a sudden, some were removed and new sports are introduced. So this puts you off track. You know, I mean, you prepare athletes for years to find out it's not going to be played. So we invested good money on our athletes to be trained to perform well in these Southeast Asian Games, and we learned from, let's say, the mistakes we made or how we perform in the last SEA Games. So and to find out later on that it's not being played, and then from the very beginning you know already that you're going to end up 7th in the standing of all the countries participating in the Southeast Asian Games.
You know, when you talk about preparing for an international competition, should the standard be based on the SEA Games, or should it be based on the Olympic standard? Because after 2 years, you're going to have the Asian Games,
Yes.
and then you're going to have the Olympic Games.
Yes.
So, I mean, the level of preparation should not be different, but should go for world-class performance and Olympic performance.
That's what we are demanding from the NSAs, to uplift the standard, put it to the level that they will be competitive in the Olympics. And we always believe that the Southeast Asian Games is a ground for the Olympics. But how can it be a training ground for the Olympics if Olympic events are even removed? So what we are fighting for is that the Olympic sports should really be part of the Southeast Asian Games, so that we can move forward to the Asian Games and graduate to the Olympics.
What about funding? Funding has been a problem in the past, but under this administration, I understand that the president is fully committed to it.
Yes, the president is fully supportive of our program, and I think money is not really that big an issue. We have budgets for the training of our athletes. We have savings to improve the facilities of the training centers that we have, and make the dormitories of our athletes more comfortable, and better equipments in the physical fitness gyms, and more nutrition and all these things, which is to produce better athletes.
At this stage, do you have already an idea who will make it? When will the NSAs, or the National Sporting Association, submit their list that will compete in Myanmar, assuming that they will be there?
Yeah, well, that is the reason why the Philippine Olympic Committee appointed the chef de mission this early. Normally, they will be appointed 3 months before the games. So starting this month of February, we will be meeting with the Philippine Olympic Committee and decide on the criteria as to how the athletes will be selected. Because I think the longer we take in training, or we identify the athletes and train them all the way up to the Southeast Asian Games, I think we will have a better chance of improving our performance.
You know, when you talk about investing your money or the funds, shouldn't the strategy be investing more in medals, like, say, for example, track and field? You're talking about swimming and even shooting, because these three sports would account for more than 100 gold medals,
Yes.
at least. But the problem is you don't have the talent. So how do you deal with this? Because most of the talents have been there for quite some time.
Well, we have a comprehensive program, actually. That's why we cannot say we can produce gold medals in a short time. We started them young. We have the Batang Pinoy, where we try to identify talents. We have the Palarong Pambansa under the Department of Education. And now the Philippine Olympic Committee has a program to select these athletes at that young age that will perform, and put them in a program to be able to qualify for the national team for the Olympics, not only in Rio, but maybe the next one after Rio. We inherited these athletes from previous administrations, and we are trying to change them through the process of going through this sports event like the Batang Pinoy.
Bottom line, are we going to do better in Myanmar compared to the last SEA Games?
Sad to say, I don't think we will, because of the new sports that is being introduced by Myanmar, wherein 50 plus gold medals are already assured to them, and we are not going to win any of those 50 plus gold medals that are considered as new sports. And aside from that, the reduction of the events that we have performed, like tennis and bowling, we have been winning medals. So now it's not going to be played. So this early, if we participate, be ready for number 7 or number 8.
Okay, thank you very much, Richie Garcia. Richie Garcia of the Philippines, the chairman of Sports Commission as he looks at the preparations of the Philippines for the Southeast Asian Games in Myanmar. For Nation in Motion, this is Freddie Abando. A pleasant day to all of you.